Hi, so today I thought I'd do a little video just giving you some tips on how to overcome shyness and social awkwardness and how to be confident in social situations. I personally have a lot of experience with this, as if you've seen some of my previous videos you will know that I used to be a really shy, socially awkward person, and though I am still a bit awkward, as we all are, I am so much more confident than I was 2 years ago, and I'm gonna tell you why. First things first, do not blame yourself for your awkwardness. You cannot help it, it's just how you are. Though I have become a much more confident person, I still have remnants of that insecurity and awkwardness, and that is fine. That is just how life goes. Don't go home that night and lie awake thinking about everything you did wrong in that social situation, because it's not your fault and it's really not the end of the world. Like, I don't want to be patronising or anything, but Trump is president. You accidentally having an awkward silence with someone that you don't really care that much about, it's not as bad as that, realistically, is it? There are bigger things to worry about. Not saying you should worry about those either, because worrying is highly unproductive generally. As I say this, I am also quite hypocritical because I do this myself. So secondly, push yourself in little ways. You don't have to completely jump out of your comfort zone straight away. I like to do kind of little challenges for myself to push past these boundaries I've put in place. So for example, I've always found eye contact really difficult. I just find it uncomfortable. And recently, because I go to a really small school, my class sizes are very small and the teachers like to do eye contact with you while they're teaching you, and I found it so uncomfortable at first. But more recently, what I've been trying to do is hold that eye contact with the teacher. It doesn't have to be a staring contest. You don't have to be like, just keeping a calm eye contact like I'm doing with you right now. My third thing is to fake confidence, you know, fake it till you make it, and people always say that in videos like this, but they never tell you how. But there's a few things that I try to do to kind of fake my confidence. It's just tone of voice, the way you speak confidently. Like I'm doing now, I'm speaking clearly to you, I'm not mumbling, and I'm showing emotion in my words. You can show it in your posture, which I'm really bad at because I am a notorious slumper. Just try and put your shoulders back a bit, walk with confidence, and just think to yourself, like, I'm presenting myself to the world in the best way that I can, you know? Smart people, be engaging, have open body language. Now my fourth tip is my serious, like, top tip. This is what helped me become more confident. The golden rule. Follow the golden rule. Get out of your comfort zone. Take risks. Go into social situations that you might not be completely comfortable in. I'm not saying you should go somewhere that's going to give you a panic attack or to go somewhere where you won't feel safe. Just get out there, go meet new people, because even though it'll be so uncomfortable at first and you'll find it so hard, it is so worth it. For me, it was mostly through things like YouTube gatherings. A bunch of people who like YouTube or make YouTube videos get together in a park and just kind of talk and hang out, and it's fun and it's very low pressure. It's a great way to meet new people. Seriously, since that first one I went to, it's got easier and easier, and I have met so many new people through it, and it's all through taking that leap and jumping into the unknown. Another massive one like this, which I'm not necessarily recommending you do because it was terrifying. In April earlier this year, I went on work experience in France through a program called Halsbury, where you go for a week and they give you a work experience placement, and no one there speaks English and you have to speak French and work for a week. I went on this trip knowing no one else that was going. And even though I didn't end up being best friends with these people on the trip, I've barely spoken to them since, I managed to talk to people and I was part of a group and we went around together and it was fine. I could have done better. I could have spoken more, and they were definitely conscious of the fact that I was the quieter one because they said to me, but I felt accomplished by the fact that I had signed up to do that and I had gone, and now it's a great story. When I tell people that I did work experience in France, they're like, what? How did you do that? Even if it's just like joining a school club, that is something. Just trying it is fine. If you go to like one meeting or one gathering and you hate it, then you can just go home and not worry about it again. Try something else. This one kind of follows on from the last one, but meet people who like the things you like. So if you have an interest, for example, I have YouTube, then go out and find people who like those things. And that way you have something to talk about, you have something in common. And that's a great foundation for a friendship. A great way to go about starting this is to get a hobby, so go to a badminton club, or if you just like 21 Pilots, so you go on Twitter and have a 21 Pilots layout and tweet people who like them. The reason why I found YouTube gatherings so welcoming and easy was not only because everyone goes there wanting to meet new people, but also because I knew that I would have something in common with people there. It's much harder when you go somewhere and you don't have something in common with people. For example, at school, at family parties, but then you do actually have something in common. The only way to find that out is to ask questions. The other person is probably as uncomfortable and as new to this as you. They've never spoken to you before, they don't know who you are. So the best thing you can do is ask questions about them, get them talking about something they care about, and then you can tell them about something you care about. And if you are passionate enough about it and enthusiastic enough about it, then they will probably want to listen to you and it won't be awkward. A great way to deal with a situation where you feel like you don't have much in common with the people there is to know about current events. For example, at the moment, the terribleness of Donald Trump being elected president. So obviously you might want to avoid politics talk, especially if you feel like they might not agree with you. But then again, as long as both parties stay calm, then a debate is a conversation and is an interesting one. But it doesn't have to be something as inflammatory as that. It can be watching The X Factor. Do people still do that? I used to watch The X Factor and it was a great thing to talk to people at school about because everyone watched it. I'm not saying you have to choose your likes and dislikes based around what everyone around you chooses. You don't want to compromise your identity for other people's approval, but it can be a great talking point. Don't be afraid to take some time out. It's okay to go and sit in another room for a while, just to have some time by yourself. If you've had a really hectic week, you don't have to go out with your friends at the weekend. You can stay home. Even though it's really good to push yourself, don't go past the limit. Know your limits. Silence is not the worst thing in the world. You don't have to fill it. I think it can make a situation more awkward if someone keeps jumping in to fill all the silence and doesn't give anyone else a chance to get in edgeways, you know? And most of all, remember to breathe. Chill, relax, smile and have a good time because it'll rub off on the people around you. I know that's easier said than done, especially if you have something like social anxiety. I have genuinely grown so much using these little methods to try and overcome my shyness. When I was younger, I was always searching around for ways to improve on this. Like I said in the third video I uploaded to this channel, no one teaches you how to be confident. They just expect you to learn from your surroundings. And as a very kind of Ravenclaw needs to like write things down and learn things, I always struggled with that mindset. It's not how I work. So here are some actual physical things you can do to try to become more confident and to overcome that horrible, horrible shyness. I hated it so much. I'm not saying you have to go and work in a restaurant in France or travel up to London every weekend. I think the most important thing is having the mindset that you want to improve. You're not just going to give up, shut yourself away and stay in your comfort zone. And I think that was the most important change for me, changing my attitude. If you have any tips on how to overcome shyness or to become more confident, leave them down below. If you have any further questions on how I overcame my shyness or how you can in the future, then please leave them down below because I really want to help and my younger self was in such a need of it. So if you're like her, then let me know. Hope this helped. Goodbye.
You don't know anything, but you talk endlessly. You don't know what it means. You don't know anything.
If you have any further questions, shut up. I overcame my, oh my god.